Let's see, before we get into the presentation, which we'll do most expeditiously, do we have any new folks, first time visitors, anyone that's just recently joined ARES that would like to introduce themselves, tell us where you're at, geographically, who you are, what your interests are with amateur radio and ARES. And if you don't know how to raise your hand, just unmute your mic and say hello, and we'll figure it out for you.
Hello. Hi, good morning.
Good morning.
Hi, Bruce. This is Candy Alvarez. I recently received my technician license and became a member of ARES. I'm very excited. And thank you very much for sending the invite so I could join this meeting. And as you know, I'm an emergency preparedness coordinator. So this is a valuable tool for communications. And so I hope to continue and hopefully include this in our PACE plan for contingency and emergencies. This is very, very important, and I really appreciate it.
And I'm and I am super excited to see you joining us for a meeting rather than us joining you for a meeting.
Yes, thank you very much.
Super cool. Welcome aboard and congratulations.
Thank you, sir.
Anyone else new to the group, first time visitor, just signed up?
Yeah, this is Chris, KN6QXE. My video does not want to work for some reason, but I'm in San Diego also, a new technician, just short of a year now. And I'm in the Claremont area. I'd say kind of always been interested in ham since a kid, probably. My dad was a ham, but I never really had the time being a military guy for 28 years, now retired. And I'm mostly interested in the emergency response aspect of ham, not so much the contesting and running around. Maybe a little bit interested in some POTA soda type stuff too, but mostly exactly this ARES and emergency response. Glad to be here.
Very good. Very good. Well, you may find that the contesting and the running around and the POTA stuff all ties in and dovetails very nicely to different aspects of ARES, especially when you're looking at deployments, you're looking at operating in geographic locations other than your home in some cases. And the portable operation, the duress of the contesting types of operations where you're expected to go out and hear the voice and or get the communication through that you normally don't under the times that you need it, often very important in contesting, and those other things do help hone those skills. So it may not be a primary interest, but you might find that those are ancillary pieces that will help you tune, if you will, what you can do within ARES. Welcome aboard as well. Anyone else new to the group, new to the party, just signed up, freshly minted amateur radio folks? All right, not seeing or hearing anyone else. Rob, is Dave with us today? If I missed an email, I may have missed an email.
Dave is on travel.
That's what I thought. I thought we were in that right window. Any section related announcements Dave may have passed over to you, as well as training and other scheduled events, please.
I will now share screen. By the way, when I finish, Kevin might have some things to say about Jamboree on the Air, is my guess. So, future ARES meetings coming up, obviously today is for our FM presentation. Thank you, Mike. November, we've got Summits on the Air by Chris, N1CLC. December is the topic on Ramona to Ranchita communications, how Ramona does communications in fire country, reaching all the way out to Ranchita. If you know where Ranchita is, way out there. And then we've had a lot of discussions on nets and in other forums about RFI. So we're going to get Randy to come in and talk to us in January about RFI. You might know that he's had some presentations, or rather articles published in QST magazine, and he is an expert on RFI. Upcoming training events. We've got Activity Day coming up at the end of this month, October 29th. It'll start at 8 o'clock in the morning and run until 11 or 12 o'clock as enthusiasm, as long as it lasts. If you're not familiar with the location behind Kearney Mesa Rec Center, exit off the 163 or the 805 on Mesa College Drive, head west, go all the way, almost all the way to Mesa College. Turn left on Armstrong, and you'll see the whole rec center complex there. Go circle around all the way to the back of the rec center, and you will find people setting up in the parking lot in the way back there. There's an aerial view of it. There's a crescent-shaped parking area. We'll set up maybe in the restroom areas or maybe under the shade of the trees. It depends on how much people need to set up antennas, and also since it's shared use, we don't know exactly where people might be kicking soccer balls around, and obviously we want to stay out of their way. And so we'll be setting up in this parking lot at the end of the month. Activity day for specific demonstrations. The list went out by email, soliciting people, asking for volunteers to show off different things. Number one there, free DV. If you don't know, Munir's working with an international group to on a new HF digital method, and so Munir will be showing that off. And we have another number of other items there. Some people have said, yeah, I'll take care of that, and other things are still open. If anybody wants to do it, we can combine them. It's kind of a free form thing, so if you want to show off more than one thing, that's great. And number 18 at the bottom of the list there, if you've got something else you would like to show off, please certainly let me know, and we'll add you to the list. So when we start advertising this activity day more broadly, we'll let people know what to expect when they get there. Other events coming up, October 20th is the official California Shakeout Day, 10:20 at 10:20 in the morning, a work day for many people. As far as our planning for that day goes for ARES, WinLink operators will submit a, if they're able to, submit a "Did you feel it" report using the WinLink template. Unfortunately, if you don't have WinLink, there's no way to submit an exercise "Did you feel it" through the USGS website. So that's, we're not planning any nets at this time for Thursday morning. But on Saturday, we've got some more activities coming. There'll be an aftershock kind of exercise, a big one. It's a regional exercise for all of California and in the Southwest. And there'll be some nets and HF and lots of "Did you feel it" reports and check-in, check-out reports happening. Munir will be publishing more information on that later. I can't help myself in October. I always talk about the anniversary of the start of some of the fires. If you were in San Diego in 2003 or 2007, you remember those big fires that closed interstates and shut the city down for several days. So sometimes we think October, we're clear of fire season. No, we are not. For non-ARES events, we've got some things coming up. You might recognize some of those cars. That's from the club website. I grabbed it from the club website, the Lotus Club of San Diego. So we've got a car event coming up. It's a non-ARES event. We always have to say non-ARES because for insurance purposes, the event is covered by the sponsor of the event. So in this case, the Lotus Car Club would have the insurance coverage and the official notifications for the event. So October 22nd car event is they're calling it the Palomar Mountain Hill Climb, and it's on a closed course on South Grade Road going up Palomar Mountain. The CHP is going to close the road off at the top and the bottom. And in just the last 2 weeks, Per Martin volunteered to be ham coordinator. Thank you, Per. And has setting everything up just in the last 2 weeks for hams and course surveillance and everything to provide help the event organizers control cars, staggered start. They start a car every 1 or 2 minutes going up the hill, And we, as hams, let the event coordinator know that the course is clear and the next car can start. So that's October 22nd, a great operating opportunity. First time ever for this hill climb. And so there's a steep learning curve. Ooh, nice pun there, huh? For the setting up repeaters and simplex on the side of Palomar Mountain. And then another non-ARES event coming up, December 3rd, there is the ABC 50, the Anza Borrego Cuyamaca 50-mile run. Ham point of contact for that is Marty, AF5T. And the email addresses, if you're interested to volunteer or for more information, email addresses for Pear and Marty are there on the screen. And Bruce, that's all I have. I will stop share. And back to you, Bruce.
Very good. And I know that was a pretty lengthy list going into the fall of the year. There's a lot of things that normally happen like this. So any questions for Rob about those upcoming events?
Just one comment. Just so those who are going to participate in this thing, I don't think Rob mentioned it, but the repeater they're going to be using will be the 146-235 repeater on Palomar, which is the VCARC repeater.
Mike, thanks for making that machine available.
Oh, no problem. I just want to make sure people had that in their radios before they get there.
Okay, very good. Looking forward to the top of the year. We're going into the holiday season, of course. A lot of events, as you just saw, that Rob had displayed and talked about. The other one for the top of the year will be that we want to have our annual emergency coordinator meeting at the end of the ARES meeting. So at the top of the year, remember that we will have a meeting to go out and talk about events in our areas, how we can go out and work better with our teams and represented folks for the ECs in particular, and their different geographic distributions around San Diego and Imperial County. I'm also thinking that probably January, February, somewhere in that time frame, top of the year again, get through the holiday season, and let's think about something that would be a presentation, especially for the folks that are newer, related to go kits and portable operation. And that way folks have time to build those things and think about building those things or adding those things to their Swiss Army knife of amateur radio equipment, gear, and capabilities as we start 2023. All right, before we get started with the presentation, any questions for the group? Any questions for leadership?
Would Kevin, KK6FRK, like to plug Jamboree on the air?
My apologies. I forgot totally about Joda. I remembered it before you reminded me the first time, and then I conveniently forgot it before I was ready to go out and throw it to Mike. Kevin, if you're on board, anything with the Joda efforts this year?
Sure. Yeah, appreciate it. Yeah, so next weekend, we're going to be setting up for Jamboree on the air the evening of the 14th. We'll be operating on the evening of the 14th. All day on the 15th at Camp Balboa, there's another Jamboree on the air instance at Mattagway for Weeblos Woods. They're kind of in a valley. So at Camp Balboa, in the event you want to stop by during the day on Saturday the 15th, feel free. We will be on the Joda frequencies on HF. Primarily, we will be doing a transmitter hunt between 10 a.m. and 12 noon with a couple of guys from the San Diego Key Hunters. There are some Cub Scout units that are camping out overnight. We do know that. But in the event you want to stop by and operate for a bit, the rigs will already be set up. We'll also be setting up a Starlink antenna. It's not exactly ham radio related, but if you haven't seen one, you can stop by. We'll be using that for our internet access and our DMR gateway. So stop by. It's at Camp Balboa is on Yucca Street, immediately next to the San Diego Zoo. The following week is the School Club Roundup. The UCSD Student Amateur Radio Club, KK6UC, will be participating in the school club roundup. We have some new students. Actually, the new president of KK6UC, Jake KN6VDI, just passed his general exam last night. So thanks a bunch. Do listen for Scout units on the air all over the United States, starting on the 14th. That runs basically 14th, 15th, and 16th. It's kind of like field day for Scouts. So thanks a bunch. Back to you.
Excellent. Thank you, Kevin. Any questions for Kevin before we move on? All right. For the folks that haven't done anything related to JOTA before, I'll throw my 20-second plug in here. We've had some really great times with the Scouts at Camp Balboa. There have been times, depending on how conditions were on HF, that quite literally we have reached other scouting units that have been out camping. They've been out in a wilderness area. They've been in some remote part of the world. And we were the only contacts they were able to go out and make. So making those cool connections like that and making the effort worthwhile, not just for the Scouts locally, but for folks that are on the other end of that mythical and magical RF connection is super cool. So if you hear folks on the air, please be gentle, be kind, go slow, talk to the kids, and get them interested as much as you can. And for those that are going to be contributing and actually participating at the different camps, Mattaguay as well as Camp Balboa, my hat's off to you. Please enjoy yourselves and have a great time working with the Scouts. If there aren't any other questions, we will move forward and give it to Mike and start the presentation for today.